Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm going to be testing Spider-Man Remastered on the GTX 1650 4GB, GTDR6. To skip to any of the resolutions tested, links in the timestamps in the description, that I said. So first we're targeting 60 frames, so 1080p. The upscale method will be IGTI, which is Insomniac Games Temporal Injection, the one used in the consoles in the ultra-quality mode. In this game, at least on the, Miles Morales as well, I think this is a superior upscaling technique to FSR, at least in this particular case. I don't know why FSR in this game looks so poor in comparison, especially on lower resolutions like this. If you're doing 4K or 1440p, makes more sense to use FSR, but in this case, ultra quality should be okay. Medium textures, because high destroys our 4 GB of VRAM. High shadows, high level of detail, traffic density and crowds on low to improve performance in general. This doesn't change that much, the visuals. Medium hair, medium weather particle, which is one of the biggest FPS hits. Depth of field on low for more performance on cutscenes, still looks good. A little bit more FOB, maybe on 10. And that's basically it. Let's go. So in the previous video I tried Miles Morales, which I use... Sorry, the volume is wrong. There we go. So as I was saying, on Miles Morales, the video I uploaded yesterday, I was using FSR because it was more aggressive with the resolution. I don't know why performance was better for me on that one, using FSR. But on this one I can, due to the better performance in general, I can use IGTI with ultra quality. That is a higher resolution. It's not perfect, of course. We're on 1080p using an upscale technique, but at least we can get 60s most of the time. Some drops into the 50s when we're close to trees or going very fast. Or otherwise, I would just lock it to 60 and enjoy the game. With the FPS counter off, you're not going to notice drops into the 50s in general. So we'll see. Oh, no crimes.
Attention all units.
Oh,
Kidnapping has been reported.
there we go.
Officers needed in
Called
Upper
it.
Chinatown.
And on this one, I do not have, like on Miles Morales, the crime selection.
Onboard AI can tell me the most likely area where the victim is.
I think I can just go to a hideout and fight.
Turn this way. Easy. I've got you.
There we go.
They thought I knew where Fisk
As you can see, even with the depth of field, we are over 60.
They're back.
And here we got some enemies.
That guy earned a beating, Spider-Man. You want one too? I'm not gonna go out like that.
There we go. Now let's put some effects on screen. And as you can see, it's completely fine. I would say this is the best way to play the game, at least in my opinion. You can also do native 1080p if you want to, but you're going to drop below 60. Visually, with IGTI on ultra quality, still looks pretty close. Also remember, when you're changing settings, please restart the game. You can run into problems. Sometimes performance is weird if you do not restart the game. And if you don't like those drops into the 50s, consider using, instead of ultra quality, use quality IGTI. But it's going to look blurrier, so keep that in mind. Anyway, let's try 900p. Now, I think we can do native on that one. I don't think cranking up the settings too high in this case is worth it, because you're going to get 40 something FPS. Visually is not going to be that different, and you can do native resolution, but still it doesn't look that much different, so I'll just keep it like this. Let's call this the ideal settings for now. Anyway, let's jump into 900p. I'm going to restart the game. Okay guys, so now 900p, native resolution as you can see here. On graphics, the same as before, medium textures, high shadows, high level of detail, this on low, this on medium. So yeah, let's go for it. Hopefully, okay, there's already a crime. Wonderful. Now let's see if we can maintain 60s.
Hey,
Usually trees are the problem, as I always say.
gotta love the classic. Wow, you all forgot your keys?
And it seems to be fine. Some drops into the 50s when effects show up. Pretty normal. So maybe 900p is the way to go instead of 1080p with ultra quality IGTI. In this case you got native resolution, and it's a little bit higher resolution than using ultra quality IGTI on 1080p. So at least you have the resolution advantage by a few pixels. Let me mark in the map fight in Central Park. At least there is trees there. And I know, you shouldn't use fast travel in a Spider-Man game. It's against the rules, you know. But that's fine. This is an exception, because if not, the video will be like 30 minutes long. Trust me, I get very distracted just swinging around. It's a little bit too addicting. Okay. I already finished this, but let's do it again. As you can see, more geometry, some trees, and these enemies usually have more effects on screen. They use weapons that produce interesting effects. Hello.
Gotta hit them harder to knock off their armor.
And they're invincible to webs until you destroy the armor, but still. Okay, let's bring him down. Jesus. Where's the other sniper? There they are. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Allow me to do what I want. There we go. Alright. They're faster than I remember. Okay. I think I proved my point, even with the amount of enemies on screen. We're still over 60. Some drops into the 50s when swinging through Central Park. No big deal. It's just trees making the GPU suffer a little. Oh, the armor. I forget. So yeah, I think 900p is the way to go on this one. Or 1080p with upscaling. But in this case you are more often into the 60s, so that's why I recommend 900p. So you don't have to worry as much for those drops. Still, if you turn off the FPS counter, if you don't have a keen eye for FPS, you're probably not going to notice those drops. Anyway, I think it's time for 720p, which will be the same as this, but with slightly higher settings. So let's get to it. I'm back now, 720p, I restarted the game, and we're using native 720, and on graphics I went a little bit higher, but you still cannot use high textures consistently. You're still going to get drops into the 30s due to VRAM limitation, unfortunately. High shadows, SSAO, and basically everything on high except in weather particle quality on medium, because on high it loses like 15 FPS. Not worth using. I rarely notice a difference with that setting on high instead of medium. So yeah, let's go for 720. Again, as you can see, the VRAM usage is around 3.6, 3.5 gigabytes, but when you put it on high, it's going to go past 4 gigabytes very easily.
Take a break, you earned it.
And there close to trees, it was okay. Come on, I'm here.
Gotta hit them harder to knock off their armor.
Now we're basically over 60 all the time. So 720p is a no below 60 experience. You're over 60 all the time, basically. So if you have a 720p screen, you're in luck. It's going to work just fine. Without any major tweaks needed. Only the weather. Weather on... what's the name of this? Weather on medium. Weather particles. But again, the main bottleneck is the GPU memory. Only 4 gigabytes. Kind of a bummer. Because on medium we get some... textures aren't perfect. There's some muddy textures. Still on low it looks way worse, so medium is not that bad. But still. Okay, the truck is no good business. Alright. They're very strong. How is he not knocked out yet? Oh, there we go. Sorry, not knocked out. He's probably dead. Spider-Man doesn't kill people. Alright, let's go swing around the city once more. And we have a couple more minutes. I can maybe show you nighttime as well. Which usually is more CPU bound. Maybe it's because of the amount of lights on screen. Not entirely sure. But as you can see, going through trees is fine. We're into the 60s in the lowest moments. Yeah, I love 720p for this card. If you want 60s, of course. If you're aiming for over 30, just do 1080p high, you're good to go. Just lower those textures to medium. So let's do nighttime. You can do nighttime by going to one of the research stations. And you select night. And let's see how it goes. As you can see, a little bit more demanding, especially on the CPU. And if you're swinging closer to the ground, it's also heavier on the GPU because of the amount of lights. So on 1080p and 900p shouldn't be a big deal. Should be okay in general. And there's enemies close by. So if you have a slower CPU, expect more difficulties reaching 60s on nighttime. That's one issue I ran into on the Steam Deck when I tried this game on the Steam Deck. It has a much weaker CPU. If I wanted to target 40 FPS, at nighttime it was impossible. On daytime it was okay, it was doable. At nighttime, yeah, a complete nightmare. There we go. But these two atoms. Anyway. So yeah, I think that's it for now. My advice again would be 1080p with UltraQuality IGTI. That would be best, at least in my opinion. Then, if you don't want that, you can do 900p without any FSR or upscaling technique applied. And then if you want to do 720, you can do high settings, except in weather and textures. And you should be good to go. And if you don't care about 6 FPS, just do 1080p native, high settings, medium textures, and you should be good to go. Anyway guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see Miles Morales on this same card, which is more demanding, follow the link in the pinned comment. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.